into reciting raps and learning the science and the technique of rapping. I started to do parody rap in like 9, 8. Like I would take like a famous Jay-Z song and then do like misogynistic rhymes. So like instead of, and at this time Sporty Thieves was out, so they did the no pigeons record. So pigeons was a big thing in high school. So
Elaborate, please.
okay,
Elaborate.
So this I know about,
Elaborate.
but
These
he's right.
people,
You
yeah,
should
they
elaborate.
don't like that's something that we like. I know Marlon Brando. You know, I know what's up. I remember when Sporty Thieves dropped right before No Pigeons, they dropped Jackin' for Beats on a
mm-hmm.
Cool Kid mixtape. And
Yep.
I went to junior high with Cool Kid. Shouts to Cool Kid, BX shit all day, you know. And so, you know, Sporty Thieves are really, really respected to people who know of Sporty Thieves, but I don't think most people know about Sporty Thieves.
Okay, so let me break that down. Okay, so TLC dropped a record called No Scrubs. And before No Scrubs, to add to his point, Sporty Thieves had an album called Street Cinema. And they dropped Street Cinema, and it was comprised of 3 guys. And a lot of times people tried to call them a quote unquote knockoff Locks, because the Locks was 3 guys, and these guys were from Yonkers too. But they were a completely different style of MCs. So yeah, Marlon Brando, Big Dubes, and King Kirk. They put out Street Cinema. Street Cinema did real well. They had 2 singles off of that. You Ain't Getting Nada. I think that record was called Cheapskate or something like that, or Nada, something like that. So that was the record. And TLC dropped No Scrubs, which was dissing men, not having their own car, not having money. So
It's a good song though.
So Sporty Thieves took No Scrubs and made No Pigeons, which was a response to them. And when they did that, that song blew up big time. And it was like a response for men. And there, like I saw the reaction from that. So I took the record Chica and I did Pigeons. What's my motherfucking name? What's they motherfucking name? Pigeons and who they running with? How them Falcons. So, and mind you, I was like 16 years old doing this, right? And I would change the lyrics around from what Jay said, and I would put my own lyrics in it, making fun of girls and calling them pigeons, the same way that Sporty Thieves did it. And I did that, and I performed in the school. And then my man Tommy Flight, he would do the beats on the lunch table. We would do that. That's how it came about. So I was more of a performer, songwriter kind of guy, doing parody, making the girls laugh in class, making girls laugh in school. Same thing with the guys. Niggas came through just to hear pigeons. They were like, "Yo, we want to hear that pigeon shit." So we would do pigeons in the lunchroom every day.
Dude, that is incredible. And that's smart. Like that is like so I know the pigeon song because that shit managed to hit Montreal, my high school and whatever. Like I knew that shit. Like I just grew up knowing it. So it really did manage to spread like in a pre-internet kind of way, right? Like so that shit was huge. But like hearing you go, yo, that worked, right? Because that worked so well. I heard about it. And then you were able to like, and again at 16, I think sometimes people don't realize what it means to be 16 and being this innovative. I appreciate it when you say that, like at your age. Like to me, that's like, bro, I fucking feel lazy when I hear people talk
Right.
about how productive they were at 16. So for me, that's how it comes up. I want you to at least know that I'm getting it. But it really is like incredible. It's so smart. It's so ahead of its time, and that is something that has been associated with you so much. The idea that you are ahead of your time, and I feel it. I was listening to this is just my opinion. I was listening to a lot of your early stuff a little bit because I feel like if you're gonna, I didn't really know your music that much before this interview, so I'm doing my homeworks. First of all, that fucking NERD thing is incredible. That is an incredible. We'll get there, I'm sure, but I just want to give you the big ups now. But what I realized is you had that like what Royce da 5'9" is up for a Grammy for. Like you were doing that vibe, like then. And I was like, holy shit, like I fucks with this so heavy. So I will inevitably hear all of your music. So if we ever do
And
a
then
part two.
when he said that to me, then let him know like how many like whether they be small, right? Like to your average hip hop head who isn't from New York City, like Holden's been learning a lot of things in this journey of this show that we doing together, right? Because he's from
Right.
Montreal, grows up in Canada. I'm in the Bronx, you know what I mean? So like I say nah mean a lot.
I
He's
mean,
put me on to the fact that he don't nah mean. And
Nah.
I understand, right? And so like I explain like a lot of things that he started to understand, like the journey that we do with like fashion and
Oh
things
my
that and
gosh, yeah.
these other things that are kind of like really, really important to us. You know what I mean? And uh those are things that also you have led the forefront and things that right now I was explaining to him that before, you know, essentially before Pharrell, before Lupe, before everybody was doing tight jeans thing, Mickey was out here tight jeaning it out. You know what I mean? Was with the skinnies before everybody, before anybody. It was a lot of things that you were at the forefront of that a lot of people
You know
just
what?
aren't aware of.
That's fair, eh? Because I can think of pictures of you. I've kind of like watched snippets of interviews. That's kind of how I prep this. I want to just see like and then you get to see like the fashion has been mad consistent. But now that I think about it, you really like are on that shit in like the 2000s, and it becomes like the hottest shit ever. And you were like really like there's video evidence of you being that in like 2007 and shit before it's cool.
yeah. I mean, there's, we jumped ahead a lot.
Yeah, no,
Just,
we'll
we'll
go
come
back.
back, but just to co-sign what Flacco was saying, man. Like I don't think people. First of all, just being from the Bronx and being able to, it's overwhelming to know that like continuing the tradition of starting stuff and being that first person to do certain things is just unbelievable, right? Because, and I try not to really say it too much, and there are people like Flacco who champion that, right? Because if I say it, like I look crazy, but every time I go up to Sway, Sway is the one who drills it home. Like y'all wasn't wearing skinny jeans when Mickey was wearing it. He was the one that made it cool. He was the one taking the tomatoes. He was the one niggas was calling a hipster rapper. He was the one wearing Supras when niggas wasn't wearing Supras. He was the one wearing Y3. He was on Supreme. He was on Rocksmith. He was on everything that guys is wearing. Had True Religion jeans on in 2003 when people started wearing it in '08 because of Jim Jones. So like, you want to talk about fashion and then even talking about the music style, sampling NERD in 2006 when people were sampling Pharrell and the Neptunes. We were sampling NERD rapping off of that in '06, right? And just telling my story. Like we was doing that early on. I couldn't sell I couldn't get on mixtapes because I didn't have the money to get on the mixtapes. I couldn't pay K Slay X amount of dollars. I couldn't pay Smack X amount of dollars to get on a DVD. I couldn't pay Cutmaster C. I couldn't pay Flex. So what we did, we went to the internet. We went on MySpace and we put our stuff up on MySpace, and that's how we got noticed. So I just want to let you know something, Holden, just so you know how innovative we were back then, right? Just to co-sign what Flacco was saying.
Love it.
The the first show, the very first show I ever did at Mickey Factz, I was in China.
My guy. Okay, we'll build to that. That's amazing. Let's go back then to high school. But
Not
like,
New York, not New York City. The first show I ever did was in China. They paid me and four of my friends to fly to China so I could perform. Like that's how international I was. And this was 2007.